everyone, I'm Evelyn Graham. Welcome to Exhale with Ev, conversations and experiences about finding balance between the mind and the body. The recipe for today is an old-fashioned apple crisp. Let me share with you some of the ingredients for this recipe. We have our apples, our cinnamon, nutmeg, orange, and lemon, which is going to be a wonderful zest, sugar, of course butter. For the topping, we also have some sugar, flour, brown sugar, a little salt, oatmeal, and a little more butter. This is going to make a delicious, wonderful, crisp, a dessert that you and your family will absolutely love. My grandmother cooked in the kitchen with so much love, and we had a large family. I also watched my mother cook, and she also taught me and my sisters how to cook. So cooking has always been an expression of love and a way not only for us to eat, but to enjoy one another while we're doing that. And I look at cooking as a form of exhalation. And when I say exhalation, let me share with you what I mean by that. Exhalation to me is a positive method, and I emphasize the word positive method of executing and sustaining self-care. Why is that important at this age in life? Well, because sometimes we just don't find the time to do that. Meaning, we don't find the time to execute self-care. And that's very, very important, because you want to live a healthy, positive life as best as we can. So what I'm doing now is preparing the orange for some of the oranges that I need, the juice from it. Can you cut? Now I'm adding the apples to cut those up, peel those, and dice them up so that I can add them into the dish. And we need quite a few apples to do that. So I have to slice them up and then cut them up a little bit so that we can add them into the recipe. And we call this the zest, or the skin part of the lemon. Next, I'm going to cut this. I've done the same thing with the orange. So we're going to add the juice in there. And I'm going to get the juice from the lemon to add to the recipe. It does take a little manpower in your arms, so build up those muscles. Of course, you know, in cooking, you don't have to be exact. Most recipes call for a certain amount. Sometimes you follow it, sometimes we don't. My mother rarely followed recipes. We're going to add our sugar, our cinnamon, and our nutmeg. So mix this together. And we're going to add it to, when it falls out, just put it back in there. Counter's nice and clean, hands are clean, everything's sanitized. Coat this well. These are your good ingredients to give it that nice, flavorful experience. Then we move on to the next stage. We add this to our pan. This isn't the healthiest recipe now, I'm just warning you. I know that we like healthy. Sometimes we gotta have a little brown sugar in things. Brown sugar is good. Chop up our butter as well. Just kind of put that in there. It will melt. Kind of layer that atop. Then we come over and we mix all of our other ingredients together for the topping. We have sugar, flour, brown sugar, salt, and oatmeal. We mix all this together until it becomes crumbly. Now typically the butter is supposed to be very cold. So we're going to pretend that this butter is cold, but it has been sitting. Typically you want very cold butter, and you just kind of soften this up, fold it in. As I said, this is not the healthiest of recipe because of the sugars and the butter, but all will melt and it will be delicious. And it's cooked with a lot of love. Then we're going to add this topping to the dish, and we're going to put it into the oven and let it bake. And while it's baking, your house smells so nice with all the flavors and the deliciousness of this dish. So we just add it. My butter isn't quite doing well because I told you it's supposed to be very cold, and this isn't quite cold. Just kind of spread it out so that it fits. Everything will come together beautifully in the oven as it's baking. This topping, I'm just kind of layering it down so that it settles nicely. I'm going to pop it in the oven for about 350 for about 30-35 minutes until it starts getting brown and bubbly, and I'll show you the end results in a moment. Here again, we're done. We're going to get this out the oven now. We're going to let it cool, and you can eat this warm or eat it with some ice cream. And we thank you for joining in today. Take care.